Dear members, dear friends, dear colleagues, welcome to our first workshop, which we organized today with our member company, ASTRON. Petr is online already with us. And I would like just to ask you, as usual, to keep your microphone muted. You can unmute your camera, of course. We will be happy to see your faces too. And after the presentation and during the presentation, if you have some question, you can over your hand to ask, or you await the end of the presentation. Petr, I leave you the full floor. You can share your presentation. Your microphone is open. Thank you. We are awaiting.
Thank you very much, Oleg. So have a nice day. See you all. My name is Petr Chayrev. I'm a marketing manager for ASTRON Buildings, and we are also the member of this Chamber of Commerce. And we propose kind of a series of the workshops to share the information we already have, and we think it interesting and useful. So you will know a bit more about marketing and sales, and at the same time, you will get more about us, about ASTRON Buildings. So I will start with just a few slides about the company, so you understand what business we are in and why we need this, let's say, Serium and all the things. And if you have any questions, just raise your hand or just type in the chat, and I will keep it in front of me as well. So I share my screen now. You should see the slide with ASTRON Buildings for Business, correct? You have it. So now I just open the chat for me. Okay, so I see the chat on my right, so I will answer immediately on your messages. Okay, so what do? We are we're producing of the steel buildings, the buildings for industrial use, the warehouses, this kind of things, production facilities. And we are part of a Linda group, so we have a big mother company, about 1 billion euro per year. We have a very large portfolio of 5,000 buildings erected somewhere in Europe, and about 1,000 in Russia and CIS. 55 years experience and more than 20 years in Russia. 70 builders around the CIS countries and around 300 totally Europe-wide, and a big design department, but we do only steel buildings. So what do we do? We do the buildings which with a bit more efficient maintenance than regular ones, because we do the big expense, so it's easy to change the building layout if necessary, and usually less foundations, up to 25%. Very compact delivery, so for the distant places, very nice. And because of the structure, less volume for heating and ventilation for the building. And specifically, we do the buildings with a standing seam steel roof, call it LMR 600, leaned up membrane roof, 600 millimeters, and it's as tight as this Coca-Cola can on the picture. It's made exactly the same with a standing seam. If you have anything, if you like to know more about that, just keep plus in the comment, and I will send you the link to a website or more information if you like. So that's it about the company. And now, if you can write what your company do in the chat, and where are your information about your customers stored right now, something like the company X and we store information in Excel, or the company Y and we store information in maybe Evernote, or maybe, I don't know, your phones. Just let's see who we are, who is here, and how do you actually work with the customers' information. Just not exact which customers, but where you store them. Okay, and what your company do. Okay, don't be shy. It's just to understand. You have a chat, right? It's like,
yes, okay. It's enabled. Everything is working. Yeah, the chat is working.
We do buildings, and
but we are not so numerous, and I believe people will present themselves at the questions and the answer session.
So please, we are just 6 here, right? Oh, no problem. So
We are 16, not
16.
6, but 16 for the moment, yes.
Okay, so I don't really go one by one, but if you could message in the chat, that's nice. If not, no problem with that. I just, let's say, interesting to know who is here. Anyway, so let's imagine, production of heat exchangers. We're acting in the sales spare parts. Yeah, super. And how do you store the information of your customers? I mean, potential customers who you have a 1S or you have some ERP system. This for those who already bought your product. But before they bought your product, before you sell something to them, you store information somewhere, maybe in the phone, maybe in, okay, so there is a CRM system, fine, super. And maybe someone else have the CRM and maybe not. And today we will talk about why it is so important to have a CRM system and why you could need it. Okay, turbo trucks distributor. So it's kind of a task manager, I suppose. Two sources, contacts, and clients. To build different investment projects in agro. Yeah, I see. Super, thank you very much. So some of the people already use the CRM system, and today we will see maybe there are some ideas how to make it a bit better, but we will see. And why do you use it? And why? How can you, let's say, enhance with the CRM? And the question is, in sales, it's very often, why does customer database leaks with the manager? You can imagine it's very often, unfortunately nowadays, but okay, maybe not so unfortunate because the slavery is canceled. So the people could leave companies, right, from time to time. And why does customer database links? Because actually, salesman really believes that it's his developments, it's his customers, because he talked to them so many times during the year. And it's not so important where they come from and who pay for the lead, by the way, but it's important who growth them, who work with them, etc. Or maybe he was in the meeting like that, and he brought the customer from here. Obviously, it's my customer because I brought him from the meeting, whatever who paid for the meeting and for the membership, right? So, and then maybe, okay, I don't work for the company anymore, but you know, those guys, they know my phone, they call me anyway. So it's my customer, it's my friends even. Okay, maybe they could be customers, maybe not. And the question is that how the owner or the sales director can keep control over the clients even the sales staff leaves, even if this happens with you. Or and another question, it's a big one, how to really measure the activity and efficiency of the sales team, because it's very complicated in our days, because most of us, what you do, it's a industrial equipment distributor of the heat exchangers. It's a business to business activities, and the leads, sorry, not the leads, but the deals are pretty long, right? About the year or something like that. So you need to keep track on that. Okay, and the problem why do we need a CRM? Because the information in the sales, it's not the customer data and it's not something else, but it's a specific lead, specific deal. Let's say it's a part, or it's a machine I would like to sell, or the building in my case, or the regular delivery of some parts. It's some kind of a contract, right? And this contract, it needs obviously the documents, quotations, requests, offers, this kind of things, customer data, who you would talk to, who you will sell to, manager from your side who is managing this, and maybe some other suppliers who will also take part in this deal, and the history of relations and the next step, so where they come from and what we will do next, and maybe some other related deals, because this specific customer could have a few leads at the same time with you. I mean, he would like to buy this and also that, maybe next year or something like that. So why, if it is like that, if the lead contains so much information, so many links, so that's why the phone is very bad thing to use as the database for the customers, because you usually, maybe there is a name and the surname and the company name and even position, but you as a sales director or the owner of the business or anyway manager, you don't have access to someone's phone. And people who leaves the company, they could delete it or copy it into clicks. And the history of communication, some WhatsApp chats or calls or something, it's on the side of the salesman if he would like to share, but usually they don't want to share. You don't see attached files. You cannot check tasks or control them somehow. And you surely cannot do the sum ups and some analysis of the activities day-to-day job. You can rely only on the conscience and memory and hardworking skills of the sales team and their loyalty. This is tricky, by the way. Yes. And when people said, I don't like this digital stuff, I would like to have my notebook, I will write down by the pencil because I like the feel of the paper and the inks, but the problem is that you cannot use that information as the manager of that guy, because you cannot read this, right? Because nowadays the people write very, how to say, non-accurate, and with some pictures, it's this kind of things. And the structure of information, it's very personal. I prefer to put a date on the right side. You prefer to put a date on the left side below. So you cannot track that. And there is a limited number of pages you cannot store, you cannot find, you cannot attach files. And obviously you rely on the loyalty and accuracy of some person. Can you really rely on that on the long term for the several persons from different sources? Then comes the Excel, and the Excel, it's very, how to say, attractive one, because it's so easy to start a new table with a name, etc. But the problem is with Excel that it's very hard to track changes of the structure in the file. If someone add the column at the 5th column, right, you will never know about that. Or somebody delete the column on the row. It's very difficult to track changes in the notes. Okay, you put the notes, but it's very hard to track changes because they are in the way the information is structured. It's only 2D, but you have more than 2D for any kind of business lead, because as I explained, you have too many informations to catch. For example, the most critical point, it's the tasks and the files, and you cannot. And if you have few people, there is no doubt that they have different structure in their files. Even if you distribute one with the password, etc., still they will find a way how to add the column my notes or something like that. So no, does not work. Outlook as well does not work, because Outlook talking about either mail or the contact or the appointment in the calendar, which is very hard to really connect one to another and to the specific lead. And again, it's not possible to track in the long term. And it's very hard to combine and statistically work with information. So without CRM, you have a black box with the questions. With fully tooled CRM, you have transparency, control, and forecast. And there is a small quiz. I really would like you to go small quiz. There are few questions on the screen will come up. And if you could point one for the question, you can answer yes. So just make the note for yourself, okay? So how many new requests did you get in June 2021? Can you get that information within, let's say, 5-10 minutes? So you need to open the file, you have a report, you just open and see how many new requests for the sales team you got June 2021. Can you put one? Okay, I can put one for myself, I have it. Okay, were all the new requests processed during week after being received? Actually, yes. If I spent, let's say, 10-15 minutes, I can tell you if there were leads which the first task were later than receiving date. So I can, yes, it takes 15 minutes to me. How many potential customers got an offer in May 2021? So it means that you need to be back in time in May 2021 and check some table and qualify if in May 2021 you send out, let's say, 5 offers or 15 offers. Or because why do you need? Because you would like to compare May to June and June to April and maybe in different years and different cuts. So can you put one? I can obviously put one. Who among your customers is closing to making a decision in next month in November 21? it's not a crystal ball, but you know that there are customers in the loop, and some of them are closer to the decision than others, you know. And could you put one for your, okay, I will again put one. Which clients didn't have activity with manager for more than a month? So you need to take a leads and see if the tasks were completed more than months from now. You see, if you can make this, okay, it makes 5 for the moment. Who had the biggest amount of meetings and calls in your August in August 2021 in your sales team? What with this, I could tell only 0.5. I know the number of meetings. I cannot number of the phone calls because I don't track their mobile phones because, okay, it's complicated. How many potential customers did clients did every of your, how many potential clients every your salesman bring in 2020? So let's say in 2020 there were lead generation and you guys brings in new customers. How many? Can you answer on the fly? Let's say 10 minutes. Yes, this I can, no problem. How many requests per channel did you have in 2020? Some requests came from the direct advertisement, and some come from, I don't know, from the relationship, and some from the meetings with Belgian Chamber of Commerce. Can you put? I can obviously, yes. Oops, sorry. Это хлопушка, сейчас нельзя ее. Ты можешь только ее держать, но не нажимай, пожалуйста, на нее. Да лучше я подержу здесь, чтобы она не хлопнула. Okay, what is the cost of incoming lead? This is the marketing question. How much you pay for the lead in 2020? I mean, it's 3,000 rubles or 30,000 rubles or maybe 10. So it's tricky also to know that. What is the conversion from the new request to offer and from the offer to the contract? How many percentage? By the way, I can put both, yes. Okay, we have another 5. So, just a second, sorry, I need, yes, да, что?
Я решила просто, что я всегда буду теперь без игрушек.
Очень хорошо, все. Sorry, the kid is, you know, a little bit of cold and I need to stay, you know. So anyway, if you got 1, 2, 3, 4, we have here 10 questions, right? How many you got out of this 10? How many ones you can, if you follow me? I have, no. Yes, I have 0.9, 9.0, sorry, because I cannot track calls actually, but I can track meetings. Maybe you can put your numbers there. Maybe you can keep them for yourself, but this is why you need a Serium. And those green now on the screen, those could help you to manage the sales team a bit better. Manage, by the manage, I mean motivate people. 9, so this is really cool. If you have 9, this is very accurate system. That's very good. 9 means you can answer those questions within an hour, right? Because 10 minutes for each, something like that. Okay, so then why it is important? Because usual approach, it's when you have how you pay for the sales team. You pay for the, let's say you have a fixed part and bonus for sales. This is very typical for the Russian market, for CIS market even. So it means that the salesman should have some fix, so it keeps him alive. And if because he's motivated, he should do some magic tricks. And then the contract will come and the payment will come and everybody will be happy. Why this is so complicated and not so good really for the people? Because actually they don't know what to do. They really don't know. Sorry, again, just where my microphone here? Okay, this is the recommended part when you have a fixed part and bonus of performing of selling actions. And for the selling actions, да, пожалуйста, помолчи, я тебя очень прошу, я сейчас занят. Я тебе потом включу мультфильм, потерпи чуть-чуть, пожалуйста. Что ты хочешь тогда? Что? Хорошо, принеси мне телефон, я тебе включу сказку. Окей. Быстрее, пожалуйста, принеси телефон.
Я придумала сказку.
Да что ж такое?
Я тебе принесу телефон,
да.
И мою подставку.
Угу.
Ты мне включишь мультик.
Да, давай. Then it's only the way you can treat it. Okay, so the point is you need to pay for the people, for the actions people have to perform. You need to come up with a list of actions, which, for example, could be more meetings, how they do more meetings, or what they can do to have more meetings, what they can do to rate the conversion, what they can do to bring new customers. Let's say more mails out, or more calls out, or more participation in Belgium meetings. Sorry, I mean CCBLR. Okay, so there must be a list of the selling actions that manager has to perform, and there are planning indicators how well he should do it, how many meetings he should need, how many times he should send this specific, let's say, message, or specific discount proposal for season proposal. Let's say you have 100 of customers for the moment, and you have a season proposal, and you need to make sure that every customer get the season proposal in the right way. So somebody called him and explained him, not just send email out, but and then he got the what you would like to have. What do you like to have? You would like to have a feedback from the customer if he needs it, don't need that. He would like to have more information about that, or he really, I don't know, not interested, etc. So, and for that, a very useful thing, it's a CRM. So I recommend really AMA CRM. The AMA CRM, it's really the best one for the Russian market, at least, because it's very easy. You have on the left side, you have lines like type of the customer, type of this, type of that. You can structure it's a contact card or the lead card, so you can fill whatever you want, how many rows you like. And on the right side, you see the actions which were done. Let's say here there was an incoming call, you can listen it, and he was the incoming lead, and then incoming call, and then, okay, lead can send in 3rd of January, 11th of January, next working day, there was a call, 1 minute 43 seconds, so you can listen it, and then there is information, and then they will try to have a meeting. Okay, they done, cannot reach the guy. Then they talked. They looking for another road. They looking for the building description, etc. And there is a task. And this is one simple list. And this is so very good when you have one simple list and the lead features or the options. And then you can jump to the tasks. I made some translations like the late task, the tasks which are late for today. So it was the task, let's say, some of them are for 1 day, some of them are for 3 days late, whatever. And the task for today and the task for tomorrow and the next week. And what is so very good, when you see it's very, it's not the table, it's called a Kanban desk. You can really move them if you like. And the leads that make the same. So qualified leads on the first meetings, first offer revision, contract, the negotiation or the sign and design docs. For example, we sell out the design. And also, again, I could move one to another. Okay, this is a screenshot, but I can in real CRM, and I can enter to whatever I like. And in red, there are late tasks. In yellow, there are no tasks. In green, it's for today. And it's without the color, it's for future periods. And if you have that, you can agree with the guys that, let's say, if you have qualified leads, your task is, first of all, enter lead into the, I don't know, move the lead to the qualified, then send to the customer some welcome mail, or the second welcome mail, like, okay, now we have your lead, and could you to see our last project realized in a few months from now, just as a welcome letter. And then you need to agree for the first meeting, and you need to, let's say I'm the sales director, I would like to count how many times our guys tries to agree for the first meeting and they fail. And then if there is too many fails, I will try to monitor how they try to do that. I mean, how they try to agree for the next meeting. And maybe there is some problem in it. Maybe we can solve it with some document or with some argument or something like that. Without this approach, it's very hard to find and to measure the result on every step. This is the key. of the CRM. So, and again, when you have that, you can really go through all these questions and understand how the people are performing and how the process is performing. Okay, so what else here? And yes, the statistics. This is very interesting statistics, by the way. For example, for the month, I could check how many notes lady has entered, 580 notes. How many leads were moved from one stage to another, 204. How many new contacts, 90. How many new leads, 87, because some leads have few contacts. How many calls out, how many calls in, how many... Okay, and how many incoming and outgoing calls, and how many tasks completed, how many new files. And then I could see obviously the graphs, but this is not so good in the AMA CRM specifically, because actually the statistics is very, how to say, very business oriented. You need to know some very specific things in your funnel. So maybe the statistic is not so important, but the fact that you can have it give you the answers on the questions I raised before. And there are a few how the sales funnel could look like. We have different processes in different CRMs, and you can see that one sales funnel makes this percentage, another this, and you can make some, how to say, some conclusions. Why is that? Why it is so, let's say, flex, and this is so, it breaks here. You can think about that at least. And maybe to qualify if it is okay or not. Maybe it's not okay, maybe it is okay. It depends on what has happened here. For example, 23 sales or 23 just agreed for the meeting. So, you know, this is a special thing. But the fact you can measure that. So that's why you need a CRM. And for the Russian market, it's not advertisement. It's just to give you an idea that AMA CRM starts from 5,000 rubles per year per head. And Bitrix 20 starts from 10 years per, 5,000 ruble per year. Yes, this is for the 4 people, I think, or something like that. I'm not sure. But anyway, it's very, very cost efficient to start with. Then it's grows, obviously, but it's, so the question is, how does your company qualify the incoming leads now? How do you do the qualification? And what is because when we talk about CRM, there is a point of, one of the stage is a qualified leads. So the qualified leads is the most important thing, because you need to fill in some potential customers. If you don't do that, this is very complicated thing. And that's why we think that qualified leads, it's the next topic to discuss. What is a qualified leads? How to do the qualification, and what are the problems with that process, and then how you store the information, and what difficulties you face, and what is missing. So if you like, we have some 30 minutes now, and we can go a bit further into the qualification process, or we can talk about CRM, what the biggest problems you have, or, okay, what would you like to talk about the CRM system? Could you chat something, type something about that? What is the key for you? Key question, key complexities with the CRM?
You can also unmute your microphone if you have a question, to be more fast than to typing.
Yeah, sure. Okay, let's say like that. Okay, no, fine. Please.
No, please, Philip, please.
Okay, hello. Thank you for your presentation. For me, I'm already 25 years in Belarus. For me, very important is all my contacts. I have very valuable contacts. I also had very bad experience with some clients which really insist of a very good CMR system, a lot of data input. But finally, it was not so successful, because I think it's very important. You have to know why you use it for, what's the source. And I believe it is completely different, a usable CMR system, between, for instance, a company which is selling fast-moving consumer goods, a company who's selling more complex products, a company who has a lot of sales managers. There's also, if it's a production company, for me, it is lobby mostly. Yeah? So to find out immediately from my 5,000 contacts, who are the constructors, who are the even the officials which I use for. Isn't this the first question, why you use it for, the CMR?
You know, yes, I think this is the key. Yes, why do you use it for? And first of all, from my perspective, you use it for, okay, where I start? I said that the problem is that your database could be very fast stolen when the salesman goes. This is the first thing. It's just the security of your business and the customer database. But the second, which is from my perspective, much more important, is that if you can really manage the sales situation, the sales process, or you rely, and this is also okay, if you can rely on your sales team and you believe in them because they are part of your company, because they are so loyal to you. But you know, when people said something like that, I said, do you really believe that some people works for you and they really care about your business like it's their own? And you can really make sure that it's 90% of the people in your company with such attitude. So it's very good. Hands up. No, you don't need anything. You just rely on the people's good behavior and good moves. But even if they're so good, I mean, they are loyal, are we really sure that they do exact right things towards to the customers? And can they do a bit better than now? And if you would like to make some process to be better, you need to measure the process and how to measure the process and what to measure. And those questions now on the screen, there are the answers for some of the measurements, or you need the measurements to answer on those, you know, because actually, if you have a business to run and you have some long-term strategy, maybe you need to keep in mind, you obviously have this in mind, how many customers you expect to be in the next January. But you are in the business for 20 years, you surely know it by heart. But when you start to measure that, and who in your team performing best, from time to time, I saw that a few times, you unexpectedly find that the guy you think he's do nothing, he'll do a lot of job, and maybe you can pay him a bit more and he will be even more better than others, and you will find unexpected new ways of growing. Or you will see the leak, I mean, the information leak or the decision-making leak. In this guy brings you some money, and this is very good, but at the same time, he could do really twice as good. Or you can copy paste his experience, because at some point of time he will left. Anyway, I mean, because people are moving towards the life, whatever it means. So, you know, and so the answer to your question, why do you need this? Because you would like to shape your sales process and make it better, make it more efficient, specifically when the environment's so different and so turbulence. And you know, you need to know what you're doing and why you're doing, and you need to be able to explain to newcomers fast enough why you're doing what you do and what result do you expect. Did I answer on that? Fine, super. Let's have a chat. Okay, let's have a chat. And the question is, how many does your company have the qualification procedure for new incoming sales leads? Just put a plus if you have, put a minus if you don't. It's very simple question. When the phone is ringing, or you got an email from website saying like, I would like to have your product, or you have a price, do you have a written algorithm who do what before it gets to the salesman? Or maybe you have a salesman on the phone and he just picks up and said, hi, I will answer you whatever you want. But maybe you don't have. But how many of you who has this? Plus? Да.
Ой,
Давай.
про лошадей.
Да. Давай.
Там, где золотая есть.
Okay. So we all have pluses, and some of them have even 2 pluses. Fine. There are 15 people in the room or something like that, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a third of the audience. By experience, I could tell that somebody cheated it, but it's okay. So then, what is your biggest difficulty in the process of the leads qualification? So let's say you have this, how you call it, the procedure, right? But how can you? What is the biggest problem? What would you say if you have any bottleneck in the qualification? Let's say it's a time. You would like to have it faster than it does now, or maybe it's or maybe it's the quality of that, because sometimes sales claim that still the leads are weak and not correct answers were questioned and this kind of things. Try to put something in the chat so we will have a more precise, how to say, conversation then, so it will be more adjusted to your needs. Так, Вера,
I have a question. I see that Andrew Daskovsky from the Port of Antwerp is listening to us. I know that Andrew started to using the CRM, the new CRM from the Port of Antwerp quite recently. And how do you? It's still a daily task, or it start to help you with all the database which you collected during the last months, Andrew? Are you satisfied with the CRM that, for example, Port of Antwerp use?
Well, to be honest, Oleg, okay, I don't see any practical use for me in my current job. Okay, I'm not a sales manager, so, and I'm not working day and night on managing the calls, answering, and etc., etc. So the system exists within the administration of the port, and it is quite sophisticated. There are leads, there are contacts, there are I don't know what. So what I'm doing is every time I meet a new person, okay, I put them into the leads section, okay, and then I think it is somebody in the port who manage the system. They decide what are the criteria to move the person from, or the company from the lead to the contact section. So the nature of my work is a bit different. So for myself, I don't see any practical use of using this the CRM, because I keep all the business cards physically, okay, on my table. And if I need, okay, I have my diary in an old way. Okay, I'm writing. Okay, all the dates. I'm planning my meetings in a physical diary with the help of my pen. Okay, so maybe I am a bit old-fashioned person, but in my work, I just follow the instructions, but I am not really making any use of it. Probably somebody who will who would like to have a look at how many contacts the company has in Russia, they will just go to the CRM and then find out. But I'm not really following up. Okay, what was my next contact with a particular lead? What did I say? What did he say? No, I have physically no time to do that. Well, to be honest, yes.
Thank you very much. I think it's very interesting, and especially why I asking this question, Petr. Sorry to interrupt you for minutes. Just because we as a Chamber of Commerce, we are also looking for the CRM. We are looking for the CRM for the last, I think, 7 months, and we don't yet choose it one, because in our case, okay, we have no sales, but we have no sales management team. But in the same time, what is my view on the CRM, that it can bring to us more easy follow up of our contacts. That means that we can, for example, separate our members by group of interest, by group of sectors, to send, for example, more easy emails, which is, for example, destined to not all of members' interest. And that maybe Petr can maybe a little bit extend this, because we have really big interest in that. And when Petr proposed us to do it, this first workshop, I especially insist that we start from the CRM. That's why.
Thank you very much. You know, the first is that the last person who just explained why he don't use it, it's just because you don't need to manage the sales. This is the very simple answer. But so there was one question. I will back to the mailings just in a second. But it's not really not understand what can be forecasted TO for customer. TO, it's a technical observation, or what is it? What does it mean, TO? And
sorry, I used our abbreviation. TO means turnover.
Okay. For
Sales
that, for
turnover.
example, yeah, I understand. For that, for example, we on the qualification moment, we have a qualification moment. It's organized in a way that there is one lady in the Russian company. She sits in the, let's say, Moscow office, whatever, and she gets all the leads we got. And she got them in the CRM, and she calls and she asks, let's say, 5 questions about the need, about the product, and 5 questions with the context, like the name, the company name, and the email, etc. So, and when she asked about the need, she asked about the size of the building customer need, and we decide just very recently that we will put some value for the square meter. We know for sure that value is not really accurate, but we put some, let's say, price for the square meter for this non-qualified leads yet. And we apply just this square meter to the number of square meters. And we immediately understand if it is big or small in terms of turnover. But this is simple for us because we know for sure that 10,000 square meter buildings in 10 times more than 1,000 square meter buildings, and it's 10 times more and more expensive. It's clear from in different products and businesses, it could be different. But if you can, if your qualifier, so the person who qualified the lead, could ask the question of the size of the need, you immediately know who is bigger, who is not. And this one trick I could share. In our case, every customer starts like, what is your price? I would like to build something. What is your price? And there is a very simple formula which help us to go to the next step, to the salesman. Our lady, she's saying something like, about the price, you know, I'm from marketing department. I have no information about the pricing, but my colleagues from sales, they will inform you. So can I pass you to the sales? Yes, then answer me those 5 questions. Thank you, bye. That's it. And it really works. I mean, this question goes out and the lady could go through this very common objection with what is your price. But already, well, at the moment we got the size of the need and we know the turnover, you know. But then you need more precise information about the forecast, the real forecast, like what you can expect in the months to come. And for that, you need to have this conversion rate from the new customers to the offer and from the offer to the contract. You really need to know, actually, you start to see all those, like you have 100 people who come and only, let's say, 23 who can get an offer, or maybe it was 9 who moved to the, I don't know, contract discussion or something like that. So but what, besides you can blame your sales team, that's just 9. Besides that, you can immediately say that you have 1,000 requests, let's say 100 requests by the ruble, so you have 100 ruble. You can make sure that 2 rubles you will get anyway without changing anything, because you have this conversion rate, and you can rely on that if you accurate with the CRM filling out, you know. For today, for example, oops, sorry, I checked. For today, I can really open the data in our CRM, which are from 2015. It's uploaded to the Excel, but still, I think I can do that. Yeah, it will start to connect to the server now, but it's not so important. Anyway, you can measure the conversion rate, and you can rely on that. You can build your forecast on reality. I mean, not on your assumption, but on the real figures. For the different managers, it could be different figures. And this is very, I would say, very interesting thing. Okay, because the problem is when we try to figure out why it is so, why is that so, we too often falls into our gut feelings, and our gut feelings are so unfair and so often we made the mistakes. That's why sorry, I will just how it looks like. Just I will show you one thing. So you see, I have a, let's say I divide those people into the teams. I have a number of leads at the stage 2 when they issued the offer, and then I have actually the one if and I can calculate within given time, and I can say for sure that this guy is doing, I don't know, 5%, or that guy doing 18%, and it's clear who is the best in that field. Okay, so what are the things? What are the things about the CRM and sales are most interesting for you for today? We will not touch it today, but if you can say what is it, we will have another meeting with another subject, because I have plenty. And I prepared that especially for you. I mean, I can adjust because I would like to share this information. In exchange, you will just remember the ASTRON Buildings name. That's easy.
I have one more question to Ashot. Ashot, did you hear us? Ashot Agbalovich, as you manage a big company, which is have offices in Ashot Agbalovich, you hear me?
Yes. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. You have a big company with, I believe, sales teams in different city of Russia, as I know. Yeah.
10 offices.
How do you use the CRM in your case? I mean, as a head, as an owner, as a general director, president of the company, do you use it to control your sales team or to measure, I don't know, sales?
In fact, we have a CRM based on ERP Adines, but actually we're implementing a new one. There is a platform, Russian platform called ELMA. It's a business process management platform, but it has also a very flexible CRM functional. And we are in the stage of transferring our CRM block to ELMA. But generally speaking, our own salesmen, they use this CRM block to fix all the information, all the contacts, starting from the leads, cold leads, and then all the history of relations with the clients they put in. And we have different analytic forms and visualization. We use a sort of BI system, business intelligence system, on top of ERP for the analytics. And what I see is the visualization of the analytics in the forms I need. Our analytics and reporting system is divided in different levels, and each manager has his own dashboard and his own forms of analytics and the reports and visualization, depending on the zone of responsibility and the activities he is following up.
Thank you, Ashot. You have some comment, Petr?
That sure, to have a BI system on top of the CRM, this is a very obvious next step. Every company anyway will come to. We also use BI system, and we also use some special analytics. But to be honest, in a day-to-day job, I need to create the reports from the Excel file much more often, because to explain to the programmer even another time that, okay, now I need to do this graph, next graph with the lines or whatever.
Sure, if you are flexible in your reports and forms, you better use or the CRM functionality and possibilities itself, either Excel's. But what concerns the regular reporting, monthly or quarterly reporting, stable forms, stable reports, this you do once with the IT guys. You make these forms, and then every time you have everything automatically. You don't need to do any extra job to get the information you need.
Yeah, this is specifically for the big reports, for the corporate reports, for the something you made the finance decision in the day-to-day job. Yes, this is for sure. You need the BI, and yes, obviously, BI on top. It's the next step, obvious, and I think it's anyway will be done for.
Then one more thing: the BI we implemented not maybe firstly for the CRM reports, but the general reporting and controlling system on top of ERP, not only for the CRM. So we have all the financial reports or the logistic reports and other stuff like human resources and all we need via the BI. Including part of CRM.
This obviously we agree on that. That's no questions to argue.
And I have also a question to Dmitry Latin, because he was very active in the beginning, and I would like to ask which also CRM you use, Dmitry. And my second question to both all of you is, for example, in case you have your mother company in Luxembourg or in Belgium or another country, how to it means that each entity use their own CRM, or it exists some CRM, because AMO Bittrex, I think it's a Russian one. I mean, which CRM can be used to connect different
one to another. Yeah, one to another. Yeah.
So TVH is big internet company, and Russian branch we use Belgian CRM, and we use not one CRM but few of them, and also sometimes we have problem for integrations of this CRM. We use our, I would say, TVH custom-made CRM named Link. Then we use, I would say, kind of CRM, maybe Tableau, and we also use Salesforce. In future, all these CRMs will be integrated in one, I would say, digital universe. The name of it will be like Innovative. We can check practically everything what our customers purchase. We may check everything connected with our sales team. So I will say we put in our CRM practically all our actions. And it really helps, because we have, I don't know, 600,000 different spare parts, different types of spare parts. And we may control, we may monitor how many parts our customer purchased, for example, in 2019, how many parts he purchased in January 2020. We may compare these turnovers and make, I would say, some predictions and etc. The only problem now, for us, it's quite difficult to control, and we try to do it. We call it churn customers. Churn customers. It means customers who are going to decrease business with us. Now we create some kind of artificial intelligence tools to predict it, and we try to do it. Also, for us, problem, for example, customer is doing business with us, he is paying, and one time happens, he stops make payment, and we have problem. But anyway, CRM is very, very well used in our company.
Yeah. Thank you, Dmitry. And in your case, Petr, because okay, you have your
yes,
mother company in Luxembourg, and how it happened in your practice?
We have two CRMs actually. We have one CRM which is across borders. It's ATC, called ATC. It's Belgium CRM, and this is official CRM we use for the reporting in between the departments, etc. And in the marketing department, we specifically use AMA CRM for the lead generation only. So because it's really so convenient in that, because of this integrations with the phones, with the email mailings, etc., etc. So, and our transfers is very pure. We just copy paste. It's made by person. If the leads are passing the qualification, we put them into the official CRM, and then sales follow up. Before it's not yet qualified, it's not yet ready to pass to the sales, we don't pass them, and they are bowling in the same AMA CRM. But just referring to the question, to the problem which were mentioned, that how to win them back. Actually, I mean the customers who are consuming less and less. This is the things like if you can sit somewhere together with your sales team and they will propose you few ideas, and the next step will be how to test those ideas, and for that you need to measure the task list and all these things. It's just the simple example. Okay,
we have 1,500 customers, and sometimes it's quite difficult to see which of them started to buy less from us. That's why now we create some kind of software tools which will check it and give us special, I would say, signals. Just please care about this customer or monitor what happens to this customer. Yeah, so it's...
Yeah, and then you need to check if the sales get the signal and acting accordingly to the signal, and does that what you expect. This is what I'm saying. Yeah, but yes, sure, obviously. Okay, thank you very, very much for that, for your attention. I'm not sure if it was really up to your needs for the moment, but if you can agree it for the next meeting, we can discuss more deeply about the qualification or some other things with the marketing stuff, which could help you in the sales of complicated B2B products. I would happy to help.
Thank you, Petr. Thank you, all participants. Okay, it was our first test of a workshop. I am fully satisfied because I received many answers to the question which I had before, and I just ask you please to write us by emails the questions which is more interested to you to discuss to the next time, and I believe the next one we will do again with the Petr, but after we will also invite you all to be our lecturer, and I hope Petr will then participate as participant too. Thank you very much to be with us today.
Thank you. Have a nice day and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Are waiting for people in Perm already. Then Dmitry, see you soon.